So today we're going to talk about this measuring tape where you can measure the height of the horse and then you can also measure its weight. The thing about some of the walk-in horses here, and this is my personal horse that I've had 10 years, is that somewhere along the line some of these horses have been beaten or abused because they're not born being afraid. And I don't think they choked them with tape, but something about this tape makes a lot of them freak out. So watch as I go over, you'll see he kind of gets bug-eyed. It's all right. And even if I let him smell the tape, see how he reacts. He's very freaked out. And I've worked with him a lot on it, but I don't do this every day, which I should. Um, but the poor horse, you know, somebody did something with it, with something white, maybe something long, and he has just never forgotten about it. So when I go to take, when I'm going to measure him, I'm going to step on it. It tells you right where to put your foot to measure it. It's okay, buddy. But I'm going to be very careful because I know he might get a little freaked out. So you put your foot on it, right where it says, and I have a measuring stick too, so you know, I can tell if I'm doing it right. So when you measure it, people are like, well, I can't tell, like, how far, you know, you won't let me get close to him, or what do I do? So I'm going to slowly sneak up a little bit with my foot, good boy. And then when I hold this, what people don't know is they just go like this. You want to go across, and you're doing it at like midway of their wither, with what we're looking to see if that's level. So he is 15.2. And that's what, when I measure him with a stick, that's what it is. So now if you take the tape and you flip it over, it'll show the weight. And what you're going to do, so I'm moving it around just to get them used to it. And everything you just want to be a little bit slow if they're kind of freaked out like this or you haven't done it before. So I'm going to put it across his back. You're trying to do it right behind their elbow, which is also about mid-wither. And I'm not sneaking because if you go slow and sneaky, they think you're a predator. So I have to take these off so I can see. And then you're going to pull it a little bit snug. So hold your breath in, make yourself skinnier. He's 1,019, good boy. And then I'm going to take it off and just wind it up. Good boy, did such a good job. So he trusts me, so even though he's scared, he'll do lots of stuff for me. But again, you know, the trainer's horse is the one that gets the least amount of time in training because they're last on the list. But that's how you measure their height, and that is how you measure their weight. So that way, if you're trying to gain weight or lose weight, you can double check it. Now, 15.2, 2019, some people think he looks pretty good. He does look good. He's a big, beefy horse, but he is a little bit on the heavy side, so he could lose some weight. Because when you see him, I'll turn him. Good boy. Good job. There you go. Good boy. Good job. It's okay. He's got a little bit of a belly there. So he could tend to be a little bit lighter. We definitely don't want him any fatter than this because we don't want him to get laminitis. And when you talk to vets and you say, hey, is it better if the horse is too skinny or too fat? Because of course it's one or the other. They say too skinny because he's not going to get laminitis. And you can get the weight on him. So that's how I measure with the tape. And that's how you do it slowly with a horse that's scared. But just remember, a lot of times with these gaited horses, if they're doing kind of freaky things on the ground, it's either because somebody didn't get them used to it or because somebody hit them with something. A lot of times horses are afraid of hats, and that's because people get mad and they take their hat off. The horse is doing something, they take their hat off and they smack it with their hat, and then you get a horse that's afraid of hats. So if your horse is afraid of something very weird, or when you do a certain action, just remember in his brain, when somebody did that to him before, something bad happened afterwards. So you just got to work through it, give them time, but know that they never forget. They might forgive, but they don't forget. And so that'll always be in there a little bit, and you just got to know. And if you ever sell your horse, you want to make sure you tell that next person, hey, he's a little bit freaky with the tape, or he's not the best with the shoer, or he's afraid of the veterinarian. He's afraid when somebody comes around with a wrap or a bottle, because again, somebody did something to him. Okay, hope that's helpful.